of life that He has given us, you know, it's always important to give thanks to God. You know, people are sick. People
Actually, it's a good idea. We should be having morning devotion on your open every time.
Exactly, we should do that. And you know, I would suggest that we should be having a caller every day in the morning, you know,
pray for us,
so that we open our show. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
And
so what do we have today this morning?
Okay, so for you, our viewers, we have some interesting topics, and as usual, at 7:30, we're going to open our phone lines, and we're going to be talking about trending issues. Yesterday, the Ministry of Health indicated that they're investigating the strange disease that is suspected to have broken out at Lunte boarding school in Lunte constituency. And so really, we're going to open up our phone lines. Have you ever experienced such? What are your thoughts on the same situation? And also, we saw a notice yesterday from the Zambia Revenue Authority indicating that landlords should actually be registered for the purposes of tax. So what are your thoughts on those issues? And at 8 hours, we're going to be joined by the Cyber Security Initiative Foundation President, Mr. John Chiseki, who's just going to help us discuss employment opportunities that exist on the online space. For many Zambians, they think as if a job is just something that you can get in the physical world. You go to the office, you come back. But in a digital world today, we have many employment opportunities on the online space. We have YouTube and other forms of employment. Even Facebook itself, you can find employment there. So could the online space be the solution to Zambia's unemployment problem? What do we need to do to actually explore this avenue?
Exactly, Zipporah, and I hope we'll have a lot of calls when we talk about ZRA announcement. I'm really looking forward to the comments from people on what their thought is about with regards to the announcement that was made yesterday by the Zambia Revenue Authority. But anyway, before we go much into details talking about that, we'll go direct into our morning boost, like we always do every time in the morning. Please catch us on the other side.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to our morning boost. I am Isaac Machifa, and I'm back. And let's do something quick now. I need that. Let's go. One each. Just 5 minutes every morning. You're good to go. Let's go. One knee each. Two knees now. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2 knees each. Two each. 2. And back here, march. Let's march. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Let's go. And we're going to do a little bit of abs today. A bit of abs. Let's go. Steady. Stretch. All right. Let's do a bit of abs now. Okay? Let's see how many we can do. So I'm going to lie down here. Join me. Come with me. Ready? No more crunch. Imagine you have a coin here. So you need to lift your head. Go. 10, take a break. 10 seconds, 20, no, not 20, 10 or 5 or 15 maximum. Let's go another 10. Let's go. 21. Okay, so let's do abs now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10. 20. 30. So remember, I need to be taking some breaks in between, but I need a straight 30. After 10 abs, take a 10 seconds break or 15. Let me give you my last 10. Let's go. 10, 9, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So try that, and it's gonna work good for you. Let's go. So that was for the abs. You do that, then I'm gonna introduce another workout, then we'll be signing out soon. Okay, so relax your muscles, and there we go again now. Let's work on the bats now. So I'll do 10 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next workout, straight. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Last 10. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And good morning. Have a great day. This has been Isaac Matsa, and I'm gonna see you next week at the same time. Remember always to have a morning boost before you go out for the day. Thanks.
So I hope you had a wonderful exercise, because we did, even though it was a painful exercise, really. It's hard to follow Mr. Isaac Machisa. Even as he does that, I'm sure him is accustomed.
When he does this, you know, you go the other direction, you go the other direction. But anyways, boy, you just need to do that and ensure that you keep yourself healthy in the morning and exercise every day. As we come here on this breakfast show, every single day in the morning, we always emphasize the need to exercise every day in the morning. I know the weather is quite strange these days. You know, waking up very early could be quite difficult for other people, like those who are used to waking up at 4 a.m. to go and exercise. But hey, I haven't been doing that of late. I'll just, you know, continue doing the exercise as we do our breakfast show.
Morning boost. Our morning boost, keep us in shape.
Yeah, exactly, Zipporah.
Yes, and just now move into our health segment, where we're going to be talking about oral health with the Medical Women Association of Zambia, and that is Dr. Jessie Nkondi. So yesterday we began the topic, and today we'll just continue. And just a reminder to our viewers that you can actually come on board and sponsor the health segment, as well as the money market, which will be right after the health segment. So let us have Dr. Nkondi join us on set.
Good morning, viewers. I'm Dr. Nkonde Jesse from the Medical Women Association of Zambia, and today we're going to look at the factors that influence good oral health practice. So, as previously discussed, we had looked at a brief description of the oral cavity and what our oral health means. So, as a reminder to our viewers is that the oral health means a health of our teeth, health of our tongue, the health of the structures that surround our oral cavity. And today we're going to look at some of the factors that influence good oral health practice, as well as ways in which we can improve. Looking at it from an overall perspective, the most important factor that could affect oral health practice is access to oral health, and that could be limited by socio-economic constraints, a lack of infrastructure to access oral health services, as well as a lack of professionals that offer oral health services. Therefore, this is an economical constraint that affects the majority of societies as well as the majority of individuals with low to middle income, of which Zambia is not an exception. For this, it means that the majority of people presenting with oral conditions lack access to management and proper management of the underlying pathologies in most areas. The other factor that influences good oral health practice is habits such as tobacco and alcohol use, which are known risk factors for majority of conditions, and dental caries, oral cancers, as well as other conditions that affect oral health practice are not an exclusion to these factors. So these factors are modifiable, and preventative measures such as an end or cessation to tobacco and alcohol use would be a recommendation for individuals exposed to this in order to safeguard their oral health. And lastly, some of the factors that influence oral health practices, its attitude and behavior, as well as delay in seeking healthcare services among individuals. Therefore, in most cases, most individuals resort to self-management and treatment, which complicates the condition from a simple cavity into even a life-threatening condition. Therefore, it's important that the community as well as healthcare providers are acquainted with sufficient knowledge on ways in which to manage these conditions that at an earlier stage to avoid further consequences and further loss to this structure, which are essential for the overall health of an individual. Thank you so much for today, and see you tomorrow for more information on oral health and ways in which we can improve our oral health. Thank you.
So that was Dr. Jesse Nkonde just taking us deeper into the discussion that we began yesterday, which is oral health. I hope you learned one or two things. And just one important thing which I've noticed about us Zambians is that when you talk about oral health, people just think about brushing your teeth. But there's so many things you can do. You have to have a dental checkup. Many Zambians have never even been to a dentist once in their lives. Miriam, I don't know. So we need to actually take our oral health very seriously, at least even twice a year or once a year, if that's even the least you can do. At least even once a year you can go and have a dental checkup to see if your teeth are healthy.
And you know, Zipporah, when we come to the African setup mind, you know, quite few people do that. Going to see a dentist. when you go around in the street and then just try to find out from people, since when last did you go and visit a dentist? They'll tell you,
people go if they're having a toothache.
Yeah, exactly. That has always been a trend. But you know, according to the doctor, it's always important that you visit these health facilities and just ensure that you are in a very good condition, and you don't want to, you know, find other strange things in your Yes, but anyway, right about now, Zipporah, like we said, we'll be doing things a little bit different. You also suggested that we need to be having a morning devotion and someone every single day to be praying for us when we wake up, when we start our breakfast show. But anyway, right about now, we're going to play one song and just, you know, put ourselves in a very Christian, good mood as we start our day this morning. So let's see what the song is all about. Please catch us on the other side.
You are our ever-present help in time of need. Your presence in our lives is assured. In both the good and bad times, we know you are present. Mubunake wandi muleba ubukose, mubuchushe muleba uchindami. You are causing all things to work together for my good. Because you are God, I am not going to lack. Not at all. Mule pangeshila pashava epa mulia wemweva shifilwa epa muli mule bomba epa muli mule piunga epa muli epa muli. Yahweh, Pomuli. are honoring us for all our shame. You're giving us oil of joy for mourning, beauty for ashes.
A very, very beautiful song there done by Lombe Chiti Epomuli. I hope you did enjoy that. As you start your morning every single day in the morning, it's always important that you give praise to the Lord for giving you this beautiful day, this good health. You're not sick, you're able to walk, to talk, to see your family. Please appreciate God and just say, you know, give a thanksgiving to God, Zipporah, and always, you know, I don't know, but Zipporah, do you pray in the morning every day when you wake up?
Every day I do pray.
Anyway, we always need to do that. But anyway, right about now, Zipporah, what do we have for our next segment for our guest before we go
right now
into talking about what we have this morning?
And so just now, before we start our day, as usual, we have the money market, so that you know how the kwacha is faring. And so we have the United States dollar, which is buying at 16 kwacha 94 ngwe, selling at 17 kwacha 27 ngwe. The euro, which is buying at 18 kwacha 89 ngwe, selling at 19 kwacha 26 ngwe. The Great British Pound, which is buying at 20 kwacha 77 ngwe, selling at 21 kwacha 18 ngwe. The South African rand, which is buying at 1 kwacha 7 ngwe, and selling at 1 kwacha 9 ngwe. So for us, our interest as usual is the US dollar.
But yesterday it was at 17 kwacha, is it 25 ngwe?
On the buying part?
On the selling part. On the selling part, yeah.
So has it appreciated or depreciated?
It has appreciated. I can see it's now 17 kwacha 27 ngwe, and yesterday it was 17 kwacha 25 ngwe. But anyway, we hope we keep.
I don't like it when I look at the buying, then I see 16. I even feel at peace. I don't want to see 20 or anything. I don't want to collapse on set. Definitely. And
to reach at that point where we're buying at 23, imagine.
I don't want to see that. I can get depressed.
And then we had an increase in price commodities. It was a worse situation, especially when you're coming from a low income, you know, household.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
But anyway, Zipporah,
and just
talking about the trending issues, we did saw an announcement made by the Zambia Revenue Authority. Anyway, right about now, it's 7:30 already, and we have opened our phone lines. We hope our viewers out there, you'll be able to call us and just give us your comment with regards to what we'll be talking about this morning. We saw the ZRA making an announcement yesterday. Please just highlight our viewers and bring us up to date before we call someone from the ZRA and just give us more details with regards to that.
Okay, so just now, as my colleague already mentioned, we have opened our phone lines and we're expecting views from you, our viewers out there. And so there's a trending issue right now, and that is the introduction of rental income tax. This means that all landlords will now have to pay tax to the Zambian Revenue Authority. And this announcement was actually made yesterday, and we just communicated with the Zambia Revenue Authority Communications Office, who have actually confirmed that this is authentic. And so here the notice reads, the Zambia Revenue Authority, ZRA, has partnered with 33 councils countrywide to register all landlords. Through this partnership, a total of 10,008 landlords have so far been registered for tax purposes. All landlords in receipt of rental income who are not yet registered are encouraged to do so to avoid penalties. ZRA officers working with council officers are conducting door-to-door visits, collecting data for the purpose of this exercise. And so this means that really, what are your thoughts on this? People are saying we already have ground rent. Yeah. Now we're going to have rent tax and all that. And just yesterday, when this notice came out, I even saw comments on Facebook where people are saying you want to tax even landlords, but you're actually giving mining companies tax holidays. So really, what is the deal in this issue? So we've opened
the argument is that you are into business once you're a landlord. So
but even rent, do you have to pay tax?
So you need to pay. Anyway, we will be having someone from the ZRA. We will give them a call just to give us more details on why exactly they have introduced this and why did they take such a move. And we'll be able to get more details with regards to that. But right about now, just give us your views, your comments, what you think about this. Is this the right decision or the right move that ZRA
has done to introduce rental income tax? And I'm just actually on the ZRA page where I saw the list of taxes, Miriam, that we have really. And so I've noticed that we have, is it tourism tax, mining tax, and all this, so that just a lot of taxes. And now we're saying we're also introducing rental income tax. And I just wonder what will happen. Does it mean that, do they have evidence that maybe a landlord, because someone can say, no, this is my house, I'm not, maybe someone can tell the tenant, say, claim that you're not renting, just say you're the owners of the house or something. So I don't know, how are they going to do it? They're saying they're going door to door collecting data, who's a landlord, who's not a landlord, and all that. So it's just going to be tough. You have to pay tax as a landlord.
Okay, so right about now, we'll just make this call. Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm all right, and how are you?
I'm fine. Are we talking to Mr. Oliver Zara from ZRA?
Yes, okay.
Okay, please, welcome to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. You are live on Camnet.
Thank you so much for hosting me.
So basically, we just want to find out. We saw there's a post that the Zambian Revenue Authority has partnered with 33 council countrywide to register all landlords. Please give us to speed what this is all about.
Yes, that is correct. That the Zambia Revenue Authority did sign a memorandum of understanding with the 3 local councils countrywide. This is an effort to just ensure that we capture all landlords into the tax bracket when it comes to the payment of rental income tax. So basically what the authority is doing with the councils is to go door by door in one of the exercises, coupled with the fact that the database with the 3 councils, what we want to do is to just ensure that everyone is captured. The councils are helping with the registration, so landlords can go to their nearest local council to get registered for rental income tax. At the same time, what the 2 institutions have decided is to beef up this exercise of voluntary registration with a physical registration exercise where we go door by door educating the landlords, because at the same time what we have realized is that there is an information gap. People do not know, there are people out there that do not actually know that they are supposed to pay rental income tax. Now, as you are aware, then the act or the law requires that anyone earning income from rent is supposed to pay tax. So how it works is that if you're a landlord and your gross income in a year is 800,000 or below, then it means you pay tax at 4% every month. However, if your gross income is above 800,000 in a year, then every month you pay tax at 12.5%. So this is what people need to understand, that okay, if all your earnings, when you put them together, they do not go above 800,000 kwacha in a year, then it means your rental income tax is taxed at 4% every month. So every month you'll be filing returns and making payments at 4%. Previously, this used to be, when it was called withholding tax, people were paying 10% per month. So this has been reduced to 4% under the title of rental income tax for those that are earning 800,000 kwacha and below. But for those that are earning above 800,000 kwacha, they are taxed at 12.5%.
Okay. And so, Mr. Nzala, thank you very much for that information. But there have been some arguments stating that why should people also pay tax when really they're actually paying ground rates? So I don't know what your response is to that. And also, really, what are the penalties that come without with not complying to the same?
Okay, so it's a good question. So ground rates, those are for the council. Now, rental income tax is not a new tax. It has been there. Okay, only that used to be called withholding tax. It was there before I was born before, so it was there before you and I were born. Yeah, so it's only that, you know, when there's an information that people are not aware that I'm supposed to do this and there are many other taxes for probably people are not aware. And that's what we're doing as an authority now, is to enhance our taxpayer education program so that people are aware of their tax obligations and what they're supposed to do when it comes to just issues of tax. So ground rates, those those are more like levies that are charged by the council. Now this one, rental income tax, is something that has always been there as a tax by the law. Yeah, just like any other taxes, turnover tax, we can talk of property transfer tax. So these are taxes that have always been there. So for those that are raising the argument, we could understand from a point of where, you know, there was an information tax and we need to close that. So if they want to register, they can visit our website, which is www.zra.org.zm. They will find that information, which explains more about rental income tax. So this is not a new tax now. It has always been there.
Okay, and you did mention that so far you've partnered with 33 councils. So maybe what are some of the major areas that you have begun, where you've actually rolled out the exercise?
Well, we've rolled out the exercise in all the 33 councils because we do not have to wait from our part. We have to, government revenue has to be collected every day because the needs of the government are always evolving every day. Our part is to ensure that we continue funding government by collecting the much needed revenue so that, the government can continue providing the different social economic amenities so that, things like hospitals, schools. Right now we're talking about increased CPF, we're talking about free education. So from the tax authority, we know that such revenues are used by government for such developmental programs, among others.
Okay, thank you very much for that information, Mr. Nzala. It has been very informative, and I'm sure our viewers out there have actually heard. Thank you very much for keeping in touch.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. So that was Mr. Oliver Nzala, who's the acting corporate communications manager at the Zambia Revenue Authority, who just actually labored to explain to us in detail what this means. And so, Miriam, your thoughts really? I'm actually a bit depressed.
I was scrolling through some other comments on social media where people are now saying, Zipporah, that this will means that us who are renting houses, the rentals will even go up because. But
Miriam, the logic is that they hire they hire the rent, they hire the tax, isn't it? Yeah. So I don't know really, but. Anyway, that is what is out there.
Give us your thought on what you think about that. We have a caller, Zipporah. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
Good morning, yes.
Thank you for calling us. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Speaking.
Okay.
And I'm calling from Argentina.
You can go ahead, please.
Despite the but I don't know why.
We can hear you clearly. Kindly go ahead.
Yes, I want to start from your report to me. To me, I don't understand when you say whether I am now the tenant, whatever tax.
Rental income tax.
That is old, very old after. The previous regime, we had it, and the people they were just taking it. But when you check in the law, it is old. So from your side, it's not correct to say that ZRA have been produced. What they are doing now is reinforcing so that there is compliance on all the landlords. That's point number one. Number two is from my end, because I've been a tenant for some time, and my landlord requested that I start paying. In fact, it's when I rented that we are required to do that. So then I complained that why should ZRA employ me indirectly? Because that was employing the tenants indirectly. We were required to subtract 10% of our monthly rental and then take it either physically or remit it to ZRA on their behalf for free, of which I was required to use transport money to and back, including my time. If I were to reach to my expense, time permitting, and funds, I was going to do ZRA for employing me as a chola to collect their money for free on their behalf. So these are the facts I'm presenting, and I was glad because January when I went to, I attempted to pay and the system rejected. So I was referred to another office. That is where they explained to say actually the system has been changed, removing the tenant from that application and transferring to the owner of the property to do that. And this is what it is. And as opposed to what you are reporting that they are no, they are just reporting. So I think these are my two submissions, and I'm happy to know that truly this has been removed from the tenant and taken to the owner. It's like I'm a businessman. I'm required to pay tax, whatever tax, income tax, and then I point at you, Miriam, or before that you say, go and collect that tax on my behalf and bring it to me. How do you do that? How does that work out? You see my point? For the sake of others, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that contribution. And I think Mr. Nzala actually did say there has been a huge information gap, and actually they have not been collecting the tax.
Mr. Tola was watching before we started. We called Mr. Nzala. He would agree with us that we needed to have more clear details so that people can understand, you know, because there's a misconception. Everyone is thinking that
it's
this is
reintroduction,
yeah.
Like exactly. Mr. Nzala explained to us when you called him, he said it has just been dormant. It has been there all the time, but it has not been enforced. But now they're actually reinforcing it, and as you heard, he said, now we have a CDF that has increased. We need to actually get money. Where's that money going to come from? Taxpayers' money. We need to build hospitals. We need to construct roads and all that. So that is the justification for actually reinstating or just reinforcing, reviving the dead.
Exactly.
Waking up the dead, and really. Anyway, so that's something that is controversial. So for many people, like here on social media, we actually have some comments stating that you're actually taxing people, but you're giving mining companies tax holidays. And so really just call in and give us your views on the reinstating, not introduction, but reinstating of the rental income tax. And so we have another caller there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
We are fine, thank you, sir. How are you? We are glad to know that. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, good morning, Reverend.
Good morning.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Regarding the issue of the tax on rent of the property that have been rented as some of the property. Yes, indeed, that this particular tax is not being introduced today. It's being there. It has been already alluded to by the My concern about this tax is the fact that at that point, it's very true that it was kind of dormant for reasons that I'm not privy to. But then, the establishing it is not also going to reinforce it. I've been living in the previous administration in the 2 years ago, that the about that a young man that did the relation of the ZARA, the speech study. Remember, it was really not that immediately, and he was talking for us that time. Then suddenly we are doing with the then now we do not talk again. So it's not a new thing. But the concern is this. And I think this is what ZARA and that the power that, of course, the ZARA is the magistrate government that is under the separation. But may not really be the people that we should be addressing this issue. But I think the government, because it is one that started this legislation, and then relevant process that starts to enforce into after maybe it cannot be directed really to the agency. But then government to be able to look into this process. Most of the people that own property, on average, these are low income members, or should I say, low income people are probably, do not believe in other places of Islam. They carry to them right now. This letter is, let us see, and then, for purposes of, they are going to list out maybe part of their property, to a tenant, so that they are just to resident for their customers. But then, at every point, the government of the day or government will then consider to tax, every, little sources of income that, people are trying to survive from. I think that's not the best way of government. For me, that is a strong view that I bring to the place of the because most of the people, if you go in Nigerian people, go to Panama, you find that this is just the way of life. They'll put up the few blocks structure, the problem is that and then, they'll put up, rooms that they're getting public children. Then you go and say, you tax them, and you just 10% or 10%, at the time that I was aware of
it was 10%, yes.
Yes, the range of that, they are collecting. And like the state of and then the tax is generally at the place they are collecting and say, we should be able to deduct this amount. Okay? First of all, the system is like this is a lady of this is employed the tenant, illegal, by saying you should be around to but also, I say that this is the stuff that is not properly, I think, because even when taxes of this area are being proposed, I think it is not the proper that people how it gets. The argument is that only and because of trying to survive, like I did, I need to say that they decide to give away the so how to strike a balance? I think it's an issue that we need to reduce the issue. I really want to say, I will reform that. It's just very balance. And you know, there are simple taxes that, you know, we are paying that.
I don't know if we lost the call of the... But anyway, I'm sure, Miriam, you are listening keenly and you maybe just, since the line was not that clear, just a few things that you heard from there.
Okay, he's quite all right agreeing with what the ZRA and the previous caller said. You know, this has been there for a long time, but what is now the way forward? You know, we should, and I think that is where we lost him from. We would anyway like to get from him and listen to those suggestions that he would want to bring forth to the table and see how best this can help the Zambian people. By the way, Zipporah, a lot of people are saying now there's rental income tax. We see now rentals being increased by landlords and stuff like that. These are the concerns that we have continued to see on social media.
But yeah, like we all know that anyway, the more they increase, the more the tax they'll pay. They'll pay, really, but all those concerns, and just here again on social media, there are some people saying we will not cooperate. Mark my words. So really, that is something. Okay, that's it. People don't, yeah.
But anyway, if you don't cooperate, there are penalties that you will face later on. But like ZRA said, you only need to pay if your turnover is 800,000, that is per year. You only need to pay 4%. That will be 4% from that. Something that they say is payable for a landlord, you know. Yeah, so just be cooperative and do what the law enforcers tell you to do, so that you don't find yourself in certain consequences.
There's also an interesting comment here on social media. They're saying, I hope you've also registered the owner of the 48 houses. But no, those ones are fortified to the state, weren't they?
They're actually, they were up when they were reported in 2019, 2018, somewhere there. They were said to be 48, but later on, when the matter came to court, it was discovered that all the houses in total were 51. So currently, the matter is still active in court, and I think anyway, we hope they're also paying rental income tax. But those houses currently is poor, and the viewers out there who might have not have this information is that they're in the hands of the state. Currently, it's the state who is in possession of those houses until the case is done in court. Anyway, we don't know if the state will be paying those rentals. Anyway, it's a mandate. They also need to pay because everyone is paying. Because people are renting from those houses. You know, all the 51 houses have tenants in there. They are paying rentals, and according to the ZRA, there's need for rental income tax to be paid by landlords. So since the state now is in possession, it's
and also, Miriam, there's another interesting thought here on social media where they're saying, I am a landlord, but I live in my own house, therefore I will not pay. As in, they don't have tenants. They are their own landlords. You know what I mean? So they have to pay. You build a house, you're the one living in it, you don't have a tenant. So do you have to pay?
No, I don't think you have to pay. I don't think you have to pay. From what we got from the ZRA, I don't think. Unless if you are generating income from your house.
Your house, maybe. And really, one important thing which I actually took away from the ZRA acting communications manager is that really there has been a huge information gap, and maybe that's what is causing confusion. So if really, I'm sure it's our job as a media to actually disseminate this information and make sure that people have got the correct information, and even ZRA themselves, just to let people know. Like you heard, it's only when you make it 800,000 and above that you pay 4%.
I think there have been less sensitization for ZRA, but that they should admit. You know, they should go out there, you know, sensitize people so that people might know. Those who live in Mrs. compounds, Chawama, John Howard, they need to know about this information. Imagine they're not watching TV this morning, and you know they have no idea.
So that's the thing, because before we got clear information from ZRA, just from reading what I saw online, I too thought it's each and every single landlord, but as we have heard, it's those earning more than 800. 1,000 kwacha per year, and I'm sure those are like maybe these houses in these residential areas where maybe rent is 10,000 per month.
If your growth every year is above 800,000, because you will be taxed, that is 4%, which is payable. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's it for this segment, and we're just going to be moving into the next segment where we're going to be talking about the unemployment situation in Zambia. We know that Zambia has got a high number of unemployed people, and just the recent recruitments from the Ministry of Health and in fact the ongoing, because they're not yet complete, we saw that we had a lot of applications. For example, the 30,000 teachers had over 100,000 applicants, and the same was the situation was the same for the health workers, where just the advert was for slightly over 11,000 health workers, but we had about 137,000 according to the Civil Service Commission applying. But living in a digital world, there are many employment opportunities on the online space, and we're going to be joined by the Zambian Cyber Security Initiative Foundation President, Mr. John Chisenki, to just help us discuss on how we Zambians can actually embrace the employment opportunities that lie on Facebook, on YouTube, and other platforms. How can we generate money online? Is it a must that we should have a traditional job in today's digital world? So we'll just take a break and join us on the other side.
Oh, we testify, we celebrate. Hello, I'm Deborah Lukalu, all the way from South Africa. You are watching Camnet channel, not just another channel. God bless you. Stay tuned. We testify, we celebrate. For all you've done, Lord, we give you all the praise. Oh, we testify, we celebrate. Lord, we give you all.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Continues to increase among thousands of teachers who took part in the 30,000 teacher recruitment exercise. To when the names will be published by the Ministry of Education, some teachers who are posted as placements to various parts of the country are still grappling with the issue of not being put on payroll by the government. The teachers say government should look into their plight before that of the teachers who await recruitment, as their livelihoods have been greatly affected. Speaking to the media, Caroline Impundu says the ministry should give concrete directions on the way forward for teachers not on payroll.
We don't know which criteria they are using. We are tired. We are before the 30,000. Why should the issue of the 30,000 be in front of us before anything? They should consider our issue and they should take it seriously. A lot is happening to us. They don't know the torture they are putting us through. We cry to them and ask them to when they are going to. We need a clear roadmap, in short. We don't want them to be showing us as if it's a sick bureaucracy in an education sector. No. We want them to be precise on our issue. We beg you in Jesus' name.
And Joseph Lubasi says the teaching profession is being belittled as teachers have now turned to beggars.
Conclude this issue because teachers today in society are no longer super mundane. They are no longer role models. They have become a laughing stone. And this time around, teachers, they have become beggars in society. Why should teachers become beggars in society? Believe me, we know where we got our letters from, and our letters are genuine. So what we are appealing from the Ministry of Education is to come to our aid. We are not here to fight them. We are here so that they can help us.
Meanwhile, group leader Chonya Chimuka says the teachers must be put on payroll as this has resulted into a depression amongst the teachers. Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Thank you for still staying tuned to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. Before we went on a break, we were talking about rental income with regard to tax. And we had different callers, and we also read some messages on Facebook where people were giving their views with regards to the issue of ZRA, you know, reinforcing this thing, the rental income tax, into being fully implemented now. It was dormant for quite some time, yeah, we know that, but now it's now into effect. But anyway, before we went on the break, we did announce that in studio we will be joined by someone from the Zambia Security Initiative, who is the founder, and he's Mr. John Chiseki. And this morning we're going to be talking about Zambians embracing online employment. We know for quite some time people have been crying for employment in Zambia and saying government need to employ us, just like the clip we saw online where people are now complaining and saying we are not fully on payroll, we cannot get money, we cannot survive and stuff like that. But anyway, can Zambia use another initiative in embracing this and make income? Good morning and welcome to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show.
Good morning and thank you very much for hosting.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
It's good to have you this morning.
It's always good to be here.
Let's talk about the issues of Zambia embracing online employment, looking at the high levels of employment, unemployment levels that we have in the country.
I think first to start with creating employment for ourselves, it's a key factor. And I think I'll talk about using the digital platforms in this case to create employment for ourselves. I've seen a number of intelligent young Zambians on social media creating platforms where they're able to carry out advertisement for different companies, and they are doing that. And that's one way of creating employment. Unlike, I think, what we've seen in the past where nudes have been posted in the name of attracting likes.
In the name of online employment.
It's attracting likes and all that to build numbers on their platforms. The content and the target audience is very important. What you post on social media will attract a certain group of people. For instance, there are people I don't follow myself because I don't think their content is in sync with what myself I prefer in terms of what I want to see. So then I'll give an example. What happened over the weekend, last week Friday, some artist from Nigeria came, and there was a lady who was supposed to give me a bouquet of flowers, and she was, her attempt hit a snag. And I think I saw her going further and following the gentleman at the hotel where he had to embrace her and get the bouquet of flowers. The next thing I saw, she had opened a platform, Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yes, advertise with Flower Girl.
Yeah, we did actually see a lot of people now criticizing the Nigerian artist and saying what he did was wrong.
So Zambians love doing things on impulse. You get a lot of things out of impulse, no sympathy. Zambians will give you money out of sympathy. A lot of things have happened out of sympathy in Zambia, and people have benefited from that. The Flower Girl's numbers today, they are more than 2,000. Likes. In a day, she had about 1,400 from morning until the evenings. Why? Because of what really happened to her. People wanted to see who is this girl who had, her attempt to give a flower bouquet to a thing, hit a snag, and the like. So because of that, the next thing is I say she has a promo code. She has a promo code from a betting company. You understand? Yeah? So the betting company is riding on her numbers. To try and lure a number of gamblers to their platforms, because betting depends on people losing money. You bet 50 quarter, you lose. So Arsenal is going to lose, Arsenal wins, you lose the money. So the number of people that are following you by using your promo code, the way that promo code itself works, if you don't understand it, let me tell you how it works. The promo code, they get into a contract whereby the number of people losing their their predictions, the percentage that goes to the owner of the promo code. That's how it works. That's creating employment for oneself. Because you see, betting, the winners, they are very much less than the losers. More people are losing money every day through betting. And now you can see every artist, everyone who opens a Facebook page has a promo code today. that's creating employment for themselves. They have to be sharp and intelligent.
So maybe to put it simpler, was it a good initiative which the Flower Girl did, or was it a good initiative, maybe turning something negative into something positive?
It's a good thing, because now she saw, okay, I think now here I can make a name for myself and try and create numbers, and start making money out of all this situation. So she took advantage of the situation itself, and she's now able to make some money out of what transpired. It only happened once, and she was intelligent enough to realize this is a money spending transaction deal. Let me use it and put it to good use. That's why it happened. And many Zambians are supposed to be realizing that social media today itself, is a marketplace. I will say this. There is a word called e-commerce, electronic commerce, which is the buying, selling, and exchange of goods and services using digital platforms, even transfer of funds. E-commerce today in Zambia is very big. Okay, let me give some statistics. Currently in Zambia there are about 19.2 million people. Thereabout, and of that number, about 7 million people are on the internet, are using the phone or the laptop or a tablet. And out of that number, we have about 3.5 million Zambians on social media. You can, you can get surprised that out of 19 million Zambians, there are about 17 million connected phones, as in phones, because some people have 5 phone numbers. Myself, I have 4 numbers. So we have about 17 million, connected phone numbers, and out of that, we have 6 million internet connected devices, and 3 million of that they are on social media. And the most popular social media platform is Facebook. 78% share of the total internet users. So that platform itself being that big is actually, I think it's a springboard for a number of businesses to use for them to get advertised. Because if you check, a lot of us today have used Facebook. A day will never go without me going to Facebook and try and check on this and check on that. We have found things, links, businesses, clothes and other things that we want to buy, merchandise on Facebook, which we cannot even find if we work in a shop. Today we're able to be, I can be in my house, I will be able to press my phone. I don't remember the last time I walked into a Zesco, service center.
Service center to buy units.
Over 10 years I've never been there. Okay, I don't remember the last time I went to buy a scratch card of airtime. I don't remember the last time I went. In fact, I've never stepped in a DSTV office, office.
When it comes to buying airtime, don't you think now it's discouraging those who sell, hard talk time to people than buying online?
And really, maybe just a reminder to our viewers out there that we're actually discussing the topic of online employment in Zambia amidst the high unemployment levels. And so I can just continue, Mr. Tsenki, where you're talking about how almost everything has actually gone digital.
Yes, how everything has gone digital. So if we combine those numbers I've mentioned here all together, it gives us a picture that the market is no longer the physical one. The physical market exists, but the digital market is also now as big as the physical market. I feel proud nowadays when I go to a market and buy maybe tomatoes and ask what's your Airtel money number, then I send them. Do
you send withdrawal fee?
I do that. I do that all the time. So you find that I think last time I was in Chirunda, I was buying fish. Marketeers, mothers, grannies, they are selling fish, they have Airtel money numbers, which means now, inclusivity of, in terms of, the banking sector, or the informal banking sector, we call it. It is now covering even the marginalized Zambians out there. Today, the people that have bank accounts, they are very few. They're only about 35% of the population. There are also a fair share of Zambians that are now going digital in terms of having mobile phone accounts, Airtel Money, MTN, Momo, and Zamtel, Kwacha, and others. Because the cumbersomeness of maybe going to a bank account or a bank and open an account, as compared to being in my house and press buttons and the mobile money account, or I buy some card, it already has a mobile money account. It's so People now are going towards that direction. So the e-commerce, space of business is growing bigger and bigger every day. And it even grow bigger. Numbers doubled during the COVID-19 pandemic when it started, because now everyone had to find a way of trading. I even saw pastors sending me links or offering send it to this number. It's also business. Yes, pay tithe using this number. So all that is initiative. Take advantage of the available platforms to make money. That's what has been happening. And Zambians, they are really getting there. But again, many Zambians are using wrong methods of using these platforms. You can make use of a digital platform effectively, properly, in a old fashion, in a old-mannered fashion. Unlike stripping yourself naked to attract likes and build a lot of likes to your page inside advertising. Which business would want to associate with a porn star? For instance, you take a photo of yourself in a bed and post so that you can attract likes. Because Zambians love a lot of nudes. I've got a video, send your number. You are going to have 1,000 plus, messages. And people are not even sensitive. The numbers they share. I'll tell you this. Your phone number is important. The phone number is linked to a lot of other, linked to a lot of other e-commerce platforms. You go to subscribe on eBay. Use a phone number because it's linked to your bank account. You want to do Amazon and everything. You post the same phone number that has all those connections on a public platform. What's going to stop someone from stealing and getting start conducting, doing buying online using your money? Hackers who are serious are going to use that phone number to conduct business and use your money for their own purchases. There's what is called card cloning. Having a card of a card, okay? A card of a card. So you post this. I also try and use the phone number itself to try and see what else is linked to a phone number and get information and create an ATM card, or I'll say a Visa card, which I'm going to be using with your name on it. The money comes in there. I'm just going to swipe and everything is out. That's also a very important aspect to consider when you're busy sharing numbers on Facebook. So coming back to the issue of sharing numbers, the target audience should be properly defined. Who do you want to target? Do you want a serious company? For instance, I'll give an example. ABSA wants to use your platform to advertise something. WHO used Mwevanto at some point when COVID started to advertise the COVID guidelines. You saw that? The COVID guidelines, because Mwevanto has a huge following. Everyone doesn't post nudes. They don't post the content that is so insensitive for public eye. So they will filter to say, okay, which platform is okay, doing everything that I think that is in line with our organization. Organizations have ethics and standards. They don't want to associate themselves with a naked woman who grew numbers because of her posting herself in barefoot and the like. They don't want to do that. So Mwevanto got a big contract from WHO to simply share COVID guidelines. And you can learn from that. Take a leaf from Mwevanto. You can also build a page just on a decent ground, and build numbers. It takes time to build a decent following in Zambia. Our page itself, cybersecurity, related matters. We don't post anything apart from that. We are strict. Even on WhatsApp, I'm the admin of the WhatsApp group. You post something that's not in line, even if it's a Bible scripture, I'll tell you please remove it. It's on the
because it's not in the correct group.
It's not, yes, because people have to be trained what to share, not to share. So because of that, we have, the numbers are growing slowly. We don't have a problem with that. The problem that we have is people don't want to follow the correct platforms. How does the girl called Mondia, who posted herself 100% based with grow numbers within half a day, 1,000 plus numbers? Because Zambians want to go where it is happening the most in terms of nudity. As we don't want to also follow suit and start, okay, maybe let me go and post myself in swimming pool and see how they're going to talk about it. We don't want that. We want to only attract the correct audience for ourselves. You go to our page, you will never find even a Bible scripture on our page. Nothing. It's all cybersecurity related matters. We want to educate people about what is important in cybersecurity. We don't want you to come and find something that is out of line. We don't want that. We'll take our time to build those numbers. I know at some point we shall have huge numbers. We're growing slowly in terms of Facebook following, but we have no problem with the pace at which we're growing. We have a problem with us using our page for something that is irrelevant and out of line. E-commerce itself is married to a lot of distance. If you want to seriously attract serious companies to use your platform, you need to have a page that has so much distance and post matters that are real and something that is, I think, attractive to corporate organizations. Yes.
Looking at the high number of unemployment levels in our country, and we have seen when you go to foreign countries, you know, we have seen young people utilize things like YouTube to create content and you know, make money for themselves. Have we done enough? Are we doing enough as a country to, you know, pave way or you know, use such kind of means to, you know, create employment for ourselves as young people?
No, we have not done that. We don't know how to create content.
Could it be a problem of mindset change? You think of going to school, you go and look for a job, you wait and all that. Oh, really, what could be the problem?
It's mindset change, yes, because it may sound, I'm going to say, 90% of Zambian colleges train employees and not employers. Yes, they train employees, not employers. So everyone going to college, to university today, they are targeting, say, I'm going to be working in a bank, I work for Absa, I work for Airtel, I work for Zambia. You don't want to say, okay, me and my 10 other friends are going to have our own company established, go to government and look for money and establish our own entity. You don't want to, I've never heard of such kind of a group of people. Everyone is demonstrating, they're unemployed 6 people, they are busy protesting in the streets. Such kind of things, you don't want to be seeing. People don't know how to create content. If you want to really be relevant in the business, the job market, go and do a course that is real, okay, practical. I'll say, for instance, ICT. This is my profession myself. I'll say, I think I can develop an application to do this and the like. Give an example, on a lighter note. I was saying that I would develop an application which will make husbands catch their wives. Understand?
You would see a lot of women, you know, downloading those apps. A majority of women would do that, you know. But anyway, I think that would be even a very good business for someone out there, very good initiative.
Simple as that. I have had a number of guys coming, please help me clone my wife's phone. Say, no, I don't want to break my marriage. That's your business. So we don't know how to create content. I think we also blame ourselves as well as the ICT experts and our association. I'll bring them also into this mess. We are not training people on how to create digital content. We should at least have a system, a mechanism where we can train people. We should find, let's conduct a free training or maybe a paid training for digital content creation.
But have you ever done before, engage maybe a group of 10 youths and tell them, okay, this is what you need to do, this is how you create content, and make employment out of it, generate income from that?
What I said, I think also blame ourselves. We have not really done so much in that area. And it's something that we've been trying to do, because I think in the first place of our establishment, we're focusing on our first getting ourselves create a strong and robust base, which I think we have now done. So part of our next, our programs, we want now to start going into conducting such kind of trainings, content creation. I've been trying to identify experts. For instance, you're an environmental expert. You're waiting for a job.
We have a caller. Just hold your thought. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Oh, we have lost that call. Kindly call us back. And actually, Miriam, we have a comment here on Facebook which says, too many unscrupulous people in Zambia and they're very lazy. So I think this is in connection with the issue of unemployment, where people are not thinking outside the box, but they're instead engaging into unscrupulous activities. So really, I think, they're actually supporting the notion of going digital in terms of employment.
Yeah, sure. There are too many people unscrupulous, but I'll tell you that Zambia doesn't have a lot of hackers. Seriously, experienced hackers. We don't have the number of hackers.
What do we have?
The number of hackers we have in Zambia. The ones who hack us are not even Zambians. In Zambia, we know what we call script kiddies. Trial and error. You click, let's see if it's going to happen and the like. You don't get anywhere with that. We don't have seriously trained experts in cybersecurity in Zambia. The numbers of cybersecurity, I'll tell you, this cybersecurity is a big It's a big industry. Even what the whole world envisioned that by the year 2020, there are at least about 4 million cybersecurity experts. 7,000 is the number we have the whole of Africa of serious experts in cybersecurity. Now that number, it is 100 times going into the teachers of Zambia alone. Now that's the whole Africa. Okay, so in Zambia, the cybersecurity experts, we don't have them. So the unscrupulous guys are just these guys sending messages. I also do a message from man to man and just change the numbers and the names and say, that money, please reverse it to me. That's not being a hacker. No, being a hacker is serious. There's serious expertise that is required to be a hacker. You need to have knowledge on how to do hacking. You are a programmer. You know how to develop a virus, how to get behind the system and manipulate it and make it dance to your tune. That's being a hacker. Those are just try and error guys, cryptic kiddies. That's what that man sent it to me, and they're like, they are not hackers. If you want
because the man who's actually sending it out of your own way, isn't it? They're not them hacking and getting by phone.
Hacking have to have access to your phone or your account without you knowing, without your authorization. I don't even have to call you for you to give me access. I should know how to get in there without even you knowing. That's being a hacker. Not knowing how to do that, you're not a hacker. Okay, I think laziness also is what is kicked in. We don't want to sit around and discuss innovative ideas. We want to sit around the bars and discuss who's going to be the big buyer. buying BAs, doing a lot of illicit activities is the order of the day in Zambian youths. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is only focusing on sports, and specifically football. Development of youth is not really a big issue. There is no program to develop the youth in this country. Youths are languishing on the streets. They are, they are hopeless. They have no hope. What's going to happen to them tomorrow? They don't know who is going. That's why the biggest, chunk of the population is youths. And if you don't take care of them, you're not doing a good thing for yourself. The Minister of Youth and Sport should really develop a program to help youth come out of poverty. Develop programs to train youth on how to be self-sufficient and self-sustainable and reliable. The Minister of Youth and Sport should also merge with Minister of SMEs to create some kind of packages for youth to at least have some business knowledge and ideas. Bring all the sectors like ourselves, the ICTs and others, to create programs, train the youth. You go and pick what you want. What I've been hearing that the CDF fund is, the courses they're sponsoring is plumbing and all that. We can't have all plumbers on CDF, no. You can't.
And maybe just on the same, we've seen that maybe really most of the, given the fact that not everyone will actually get this CDF money, what happens to the rest of the youths?
Exactly, so that's a problem. That becomes a problem if you don't get the money, even if you get it. You go and do plumbing for 3 months. You go and do fitting, whatever, for 2 months. So you are simply trying to reduce a Zambian youth to being a plumber, a fitter of pipes and the like. So for me, that is actually a big concern. Because if a grade 12 school leaver will be reduced to going to do a 3 months course in plumbing under CDF, it's not really helping out. And also, besides just that, I think besides just that, the CDF should be associated with programs. Let them form kind of programs. Okay, fine. Like you are saying, content creation. Let's bring experts to train these people to do this. You sponsor the session. Instead of the youth paying to attend, you sponsor a session. Invite them to come and attend that. Show them how easy it is to make money. I'll tell you this. On Facebook alone, there are some adverts that cost $1 per click. When someone clicks on your advert, $1 comes in your account. When they like your advert, when they watch it, you can see sometimes you go to a video, you can say, okay, your Maps video has been watched 1 million times. That's money for him.
The more the views, the more your money.
Your Mark 2's album has been streamed 1 million plus times. That's money for Mark 2. That is how you make money. Nowadays, you don't go in a shop and buy a CD for music. It's different. They don't make much money. Today, there's so much money in streaming. 1 kwacha per stream by 1 million streams in a day. It's 1 million kwacha for the owner of the music. That's how serious digital, e-commerce has become, has become. So the people that have understood e-commerce exposure, they are really making it, putting it to good use, and they're making huge monies and profits out of that. Well, the rest of the youths are waiting for government to employ them.
And where are we missing it as a country? Who's responsible for actually informing youths about this, apart from just maybe getting skills? Since we're now in a digital world, who's actually responsible for making sure that Zambia also embraces digital employment?
It's not a one-man show, you know, just to be synergic. Just to be the ministry which is responsible for youths and the sectors, like for instance, if digital, definitely our association, the ICT Association of Zambia, comes into play to work with the Ministry of Youth and Sport to try and at least develop youths in terms of knowing how profitable and lucrative the digital platform can become if they put it to good use. These two can work together. I don't want to talk about those are outside ICT, but for instance, for now, we're talking about e-commerce. The mobile money platform has grown big. There are other things that have grown big. I don't talk about things that we do as an ourselves as a organization at ZACSIF. We develop systems, solutions to problems. We've done some of them which I can't discuss right now because I think we can stop this by doing this system, and this is going to be a thing of the past. I'll give you a glimpse, just a tip of what we've developed. By the time we launch one system, the GBV cases will be normal. Yes, GBV that we hear people are being beating each other will be normal because the response system is going to be very effective such that before he slaps you the second time, the police are there to pick him up. You get the point? We say, I think, how can we stop this? We want to be innovative enough and sort out problems using ICTs. We know as we look at bigger picture, because when system we launch it. It will make us so much more such that they can one day will knock on our doors. There's too much money in your account. Where is it coming from? But we want to encourage youths to say you can also be a programmer and develop your skills and use your skills to make so very much money out of your skills. Once you have a programming skill, you should be a rich person.
Do we have these courses really, or maybe people will say, of course, that opportunity is there, and this money is there because just maybe for viewers out there, many people think it's the Zambian government to pay you. No, people get paid by YouTube, via PayPal, and other things. These people are mostly based in the USA, and those people know that the economy is doing good. So it's not the Zambian government to pay you. This money comes from abroad.
Even
the more content you
create. Even South African countries are doing well when it comes to utilizing online content creation and making employment for themselves. But in as much as we talk about Zambians embracing online employment, I know for quite some time we have they hiked my account was hiked or what. What can you do to ensure that you are not a victim as you utilize this platform?
Facebook, for you to start with, has a lot of security configurations that you can put to good use to avoid being hacked or being tagged in anything. And there's what is called two-factor authentication on Facebook, where even my phone myself, if I use another computer, my phone will tell me somebody's trying to access your account. Is it you? You say it's yes or it's no. If it's a no, whoever is trying to do that will be blocked out of the account. It becomes a challenge when someone replaces your email address and other, recovery, contacts. They take over. That's a different case. Maybe because you have not invested so much knowledge in knowing how to secure your Facebook account. So you should. I sometimes suggest be home alone, browsing Facebook, trying to learn new things. Okay, there's a lot of security to protect yourself. Use those security measures. Cover yourself. You can't tag me into anything on Facebook. I have to allow it. You can't mention my name. I have to allow it. And also my profile itself, it looks very much restricted. You can't post on my profile. Okay, it's only me to post on my profile myself. No one should do that. So when you apply the basic security measures that Facebook has come with, at least you stand a chance of at least defending yourself from potential hackers. These who are busy creating content and posting pornography using your account will not be easily able to access your account and use it for such purposes if you know how to do that. Take time, learn how best you can secure your account. Then at least you're going to be much more safer, because for me, I'm not trying to boast, but my account has not yet been used for anything like that ever since I opened my account in 2011. Yes.
Talking about taking time to have interest in learning more about this, do we have majority of Zambians out there who have knowledge on how to utilize the internet, because most of the time when they utilize internet, a lot of people will just be Facebook, and WhatsApp, and you know, like, yeah, do we have majority of people who know how to utilize this?
No, we have majority of people who know that they can buy bundles and go on the internet, but people that know that the internet should be used for 1, 2, 3, 4 things, they are very few. We are very few. And we have, even ourselves who have the knowledge on how to use internet, have not really done so much in helping other Zambians understand the best way of using the internet, making the internet work for them. We have not done so much. So in our next set of programs to execute, we want to at least start doing road shows, for instance. We do town hall meetings where we train Zambians on how internet should be used in this way and not in this way. But again, it also comes back to who is interested. Zambians don't want serious things. Zambians are always interested, okay, fine, there's Makitu somewhere, there's whatever excuse, Daniels and the like, they will flock around and go and watch him. But if I want to have the same audience, like the ones musicians have, to come and listen to this content, only 10 or 20 are going to come. That's how dangerous it is. I've conducted workshops, trainings, where, okay, fine, I'm going to, tomorrow there's going to be a workshop at this and this lodge. Let's have people come in. 20, 30 people come. But if we say, no, tomorrow we are going to host JK at Hero Stadium, the whole stadium will be full. 40,000 people coming to listen to a song, dancing to it, going to drink to it, and get away with it. And that's the challenge that we have. So we need to have a serious digital culture as Zambians for us to really embrace and appreciate that internet is actually a new tool to sit around in your own home and make money. What we used to read to say you can make money while being home is real now. You can make money while you're just at home. It's real. You can do digital marketing, advertise for companies, and build your brand yourself, and do a lot of things around the social media to make money for yourself, even create employment for others. It's very important. I always follow a young lady called Susan Molongoti. She's based in Copper Belt. She is a digital marketer. She conducts a lot of trainings in that space. And I love the way she talks about how important internet as a tool is. And people don't also want to follow her too much. Only people with brains. Brains like mine. Brains like mine follow Susan Mulongoti. If you go to her page, she doesn't have a huge following, but she has serious content, which is okay for me to follow Susan Mulongoti. And like me following, for instance, what's her name again, Kidist. That's a problem for me. I don't know what Kidist talk about. Okay. I don't follow Mizukanji, I don't follow Kidis, I don't follow such kind of platforms myself. I don't know what people follow them for. I don't see the content. Once we switch and start following real platforms that teach real things about making money, we are going to see the same teachers that are busy waiting for government to employ them, making money themselves, being home, using a phone. You have a smartphone. This is a tool to make your own money while you're home. You can use it, start from somewhere. Tomorrow, trust me, in the next 1 or 2 years, you won't be...
And I've actually seen, like, for example, YouTubers actually making a lot of money, but most of this is abroad because here in Zambia, we've not really embraced. But then do we have maybe such subjects in schools at the moment to actually teach people about the opportunities that are there in the digital space? Do we see such, even just like at high school, anywhere? Do we see such?
Or is there a need to introduce such as going forward?
There is a need to introduce such. There's a curriculum for ICT in primary and secondary schools, but it is the basic ICT, how to turn on a computer, how to save a phone down the computer,
how to use the mouse.
That is not ICT. That's not ICT. Even the lecture, the teachers themselves in the universities, like for instance, teachers for ICTs in colleges that are supposed to be training our children, themselves, I've seen some teachers coming back and sitting around and getting leakage to go and pass an exam. How do you then expect to come and teach my child on how to create YouTube content? How can you do that?
I think that should actually be what people are taught, not see how to use the mouse, because that mouse just be used to go on Facebook and send friend requests and all that.
It's very important to revise the curriculum for ICTs and do like our friends in West Africa do. In West Africa, You start coding when you are still a kid in grade 5. You start creating programs, you start doing. That's why you see Nigeria, I think about 4 years ago, there was a guy, a boy, about 13 years, who built a browser. You know, a browser is so much money. So much money. People, a browser, then you marry it to a lot of content source. When people click on your browser to look for content, money is coming to you. Right now, the biggest browser is Google Chrome. The owner is Google. And Google makes millions of dollars every second. Because every second someone clicking on Google. Google has almost everything you want to look for. So kids are being trained on how to use a browser, how to code from childhood. They are growing with that. West Africa is so very much strong in ICTs. Nigerians are experts even at hacking because they've been learning the act of hacking when they're just kids. You see, they've been learning hacking from childhood. A Nigerian can hack you and you won't know that they've hacked your account. That's how serious they are. Because they've learned this new universities. There are plenty that teach real technology, reality, not teaching you to pass an exam, but teaching you to know what you're learning and come out as an expert. Here we teach people to pass exams. You go to school to learn to pass an exam, not to go to school to actually know that by the time you walk out, you should be a resource to the society and the community where you're going to be operating from. That is very important. That's the problem.
As we come to the conclusion of our program, how do you think we can best, since we'll soon be going to now a complete digital era, how best do you think we can include those in rural areas to ensure that they are not left behind? Because, nowadays people in rural areas have smartphones and we have RIA, putting up power for them. So how can we ensure that they are not left behind and ensure that they embrace online employment?
We need to include them in the programs that the ministries and those in power are designing, so that those in rural areas can also be given chances and platforms for them to express themselves and be initiated in the process. So even as they are doing business, they would also be married to business concepts that are digital related. That's the one way we can incorporate them, because even besides that, let's install enough towers around the country so that even those that have no network right now should also have network, so that, because if you have a smartphone, it will not be enough for you to go digital. You need to have a smartphone working for you, so that for you to use internet, you need to have a tower nearby. There are places I go to where there's no network. So we need to migrate from that. Start with that first, then you're going to think of including people that are going to be in that area that you've built a tower from.
Okay, Vin, as you give your concluding remarks, I'm sure that many people who have watched us and have gotten one or two things, but then there's just that mindset saying online employment is not a job. You need to be in an office. What's your message to them?
Online employment is a job. Okay, the same way it's employment. It's employment. You can't only have a job that you have to go to the office and sit around and serve someone as a job. No, being in your home, using your phone can create employment for and make money. Employment is all about making money. So if you're able to make money from your phone and while you're home, online, it is a job for you. You'll be making more money than someone who leaves home at 6 to go and sit in an air-conditioned office and drive a big car and knock off and get 20 at the end of the month. You make more money than them, or just by being online, busy using your phone effectively, because then you have no time. There's nothing like you work from 8 to 5 p.m. You can work even at midnight if you have to.
Okay, so thank you very much to our viewers out there and to our guest, Mr. John Tisenki, who has actually helped us discuss what online employment opportunities that are out there which can be embraced amidst high unemployment levels. And of course, we have also been reminded to make sure that we safeguard our online accounts against fraud. And so earlier on in the show, we were talking about the Zambia Revenue Authority, which has reinstated or reinforced the rental income tax. This means that landlords will now be required to pay tax. And so really just watch out for that news item in our main news, because we're just going to bring it to you. Thank you very much for staying tuned to our show, Miriam.
Exactly, Zipporah, and for H and everyone that was watching us live on Facebook page, Banji Brown Moyo, we thank you. Maud Monziwe, B Mark, we thank you for staying tuned to Camnet TV and catching us live on Facebook. And for those who are watching us in comfort of your home, we say thank you so much for staying tuned to the Camnet TV Breakfast Show. And this is where we come to the end of our program. For me and my colleague, Zipporah Mshara, it's bye-bye and God bless you.